Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
Breaking: Elizabeth Warren's crypto bill comes after banking execs tell Congress and White House that they need to crack down on the digital industry in order to solidify sanctions against Russia, banks executives say. More now. Now listen, again, shout out to Charles for this, but I'm going to decipher this the way I read this really here. And it is Elizabeth Warren's crypto bill is really showing you where the money in her campaign is coming from in the lobbying sector, and it's from the banks. And the banks are using the Russian conflict with Ukraine to say it is to solidify sanctions because of the digital industry crackdown they need, when in reality, I think it's about Elizabeth Warren really pursuing the narrative and helping the banks become in control of the on and off ramps along with governments for the digital world itself. They want to get paid. The last 12, 13 years that this market has even existed with digital assets and Bitcoin and everything else that's birthed from it, they haven't made a dime. And now they want to. This right here is an excellent point here from digital asset investor Jeremy Hogan chimes in. DAI says here plaintiff attorneys everywhere should be filing lawsuits regarding Ethereum being a security. Think of the damages. The SEC has said on record that they have not made a decision on Ethereum one way or another. It's ripe for lawsuits. Well said, DAI. Jeremy Hogan says, sue the Ethereum Foundation for selling unregistered securities and cite to the Ripple versus SEC case at every opportunity. Don't tempt me, DAI. Don't tempt me. Oh, that's good stuff. This is really good stuff too, by the way. This is J.W. Verrett, who actually was on the SEC Investor Advisory Committee, and he's sharing his views on the abuse of the Howey test by the SEC here. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. The article is remarkable, and I'm going to highlight just really two things out of it very quickly, but I want to read this to you here where he says the Howey test has been cited in hundreds of appellate opinions. Many have expanded it beyond its original meaning in the original case almost 90 years ago. The original language talked about profits solely from the efforts of others. To say that the element has been watered down by circuit courts is the wrong metaphor. It has been Niagara Falled. How about that one? How about that one? Shout out to this guy and his courage. He does remark in this article, which you should read all of, it's on my Twitter. It says here, it was a huge win for the fair notice defense for Ripple, and the ruling likely improves Ripple's odds as the case drags on. But then he goes on down here, and I wanted to highlight this. Individuals purchasing XRP typically know nothing about Ripple Labs. They purchase XRP for its value as a commodity and as a form of quasi-currency. Notably, XRP is classified as a currency by the U.S. Department of Treasury. Hello, come on in. Nice little reminder right there. And this here is coming from James Filan right here. This is a post. Remember this about the original back on March 11th here about the defendants' move to strike an impermissible late-filed supplemental expert rebuttal report written by Dr. Albert Metz. Well, shout out to the person who sent me this. Dr. Metz is a securities and finance expert with deep experience in credit analysis, financial modeling. And this here is his profile, but what I want to show you is this right here. As agencies act to regulate activities, emerging space, litigation, investigations, enforcement actions are increasing. The Brattle Group experience with economics, financial markets, coupled its deep knowledge of cryptocurrency ecosystem, allow our experts to provide turnkey consulting and testimony services across the industry. It says here our clients include major law firms, authorities such as the Securities Exchange Commission, the DOJ, and the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA. What I'm pointing out here is this. Maybe we should FOIA request the SEC about Dr. Albert Metz. I'm curious how baited that testimony may actually be. Looking right here, Stuart Alderati puts out an op-ed here. He says, I penned an op-ed for RC Markets on what crypto industry needs from U.S. policymakers in order to foster American innovation. I'm going to give you just a piece of this, but you should read the whole thing. Developing regulatory framework here for cryptocurrencies and digital assets will not be as simple exercise, but threatening innovators with suits at every turn will have tragic consequences for the benefits and economic growth that digital assets and blockchains have the potential to unlock. Fortunately, there are existing legislative proposals from members on both sides of the political aisle to modernize facets of the current financial services oversight structure to create framework tailored for crypto. I deeply believe in this approach, and that is the reason Ripple laid out a framework designed to offer an intermediate, pragmatic way forward which accounts for the dynamism of digital assets. Well said by Stuart Alderati here. I mean, they're just under attack. He said, if there's one thing and lesson I've learned in litigation that entire cryptocurrency industry users is that regulation by enforcement doesn't provide the regulatory clarity needed by innovators and consumers. Unfortunately, in an effort to advance its own jurisdiction, the SEC seems to prefer what one current commissioner describes as pursuing an agenda of strategic ambiguity. How about that? And this is what this case for the SEC is about, right? It's pursuing strategic ambiguity and broadening and expanding their jurisdiction. That is just deplorable, to be honest with you. Now, let's take a look quick here from Hall of Famer Michael, who shows us what are the most active investors in blockchain companies doing. Well, I'll tell you what they're doing. They're dropping tons of money into blockchain companies they are invested in. You can see this is blurry, I know, but you can see some of the regular actors here, whether it's R3 or DCG, Digital Currency Group, and many, many others, but it's Alphabet, Citigroup, MasterCard, Goldman Sachs, Samsung, Visa, Microsoft, JP Morgan Chase, PayPal, Intel. And when you hear me say that I am putting my pennies next to their dollars, these are the people I'm talking about. Take a look right here, Wrath of Conman. This is a paper, and this is changing gears a little bit, but this is taking us now into the fact that we, in fact, Ripple and XRP, the XRP ledger, and the interledger protocol, let us not forget, the combination thereof and their partners are, in fact, dismantling SWIFT. This is the first example right here, enabling resilient interledger payments with an intrusion-tolerant overlay, proposing a method to enable secure global payments across multiple ledgers using interledger. This was written by scholars including Anakal Malhotra, I think it is, and forget about it, I know I just train wrecked your name, and forgive me. RippleX, it shows right here in this paper, they propose secure payments overlay. It says a service that enables global payments across multiple ledgers by combining the transaction exchange provided by the interledger protocol with an intrusion-tolerant overlay of the relay nodes, and then it gets much more complicated from there, but you get it, interledger protocol. Then I remind you of this news that came out this week. Clearinghouse is currently working on development of cross-border systems that could potentially replace SWIFT. Say it isn't so, but it actually is. And this is the reminder right here that Clearinghouse is working on a development of cross-border payment system that could potentially replace SWIFT in collaboration with Wells Fargo. The system is called real-time payments. The service would allow real-time payments transfers of digital currency payments between eligible Wells Fargo accounts, including real-time payments posting immediate confirmation and a secure two-way messaging system. That is the Ripple Partner company right there. Ripple Partner. Check it out. Pretty amazing stuff, and it doesn't stop there because it gets even bigger. Because Ripple and their partners, as I said, are dismantling SWIFT brick by brick. You don't need 100% market capture to bring them to the negotiating table. And take a look right here. This is Neum right here is what we're talking about. Neum has launched a new brokerage payment solution that offers international financial payments, a faster, more cost-effective method to settling transactions to select U.S. brokerages, enabling customers to easily invest in U.S. equities. The new solution, which leverages Ripple's blockchain network, RippleNet, claims to lower settlement costs for financial institutions by up to 90% for international brokerage account transactions when compared to transactions settled via SWIFT international payments. 90%. You're going to lower the cost. Let me tell you what businesses do. You tell a business that you can lower their costs by 3%, and they're jumping ship and coming over. 90%? You watch what happens. This is going to be remarkable. Now, this is a reminder about the Wrath of Common news here about the ILP, right? The ILP, here it is right here. Don't believe me. This was the article years ago. We covered this a couple years ago here. But I want to show this to you because it's a really, really important piece of news. The ILP was, in fact, gifted to the W3C. The W3C is the Worldwide Web Consortium.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.